Carolina, head coach Chad Holbrook. We also have Jonah Bride and Riley Hogan with the players accompanying here. We'll open it up with a statement from the head coach.
Well, it was a good game there through 6 innings and tight game, and I guess through 5 innings. And the white kid is a really good hitter. Put the biggest swing of the bat during the game and cleared the bases there, and kind of gave them some room and allowed them to breathe a little bit easier. We got all we asked out of Cody Morris, our starter. Hadn't been in a situation like that in a start against an SEC team. He kept us in the game. I think the big turning point for us is we almost had it exactly like we wanted it when we were up 2-0 there, and second and third and 2 outs, and LT had a great at bat, and the kid, Becker made a great play in the hole over there at third base, and it could have easily been 4-0, and would have handled our bullpen much differently at that point. But got to give credit to Kentucky. They made some great plays defensively, and obviously swung the bat very, very well when it mattered most, when people were out there, and they're very, very good offensively, obviously, and we just weren't able to keep up after that.
All right, questions for the players first. To your right.
Riley, you guys had 4 errors today. Just what was going on out there, and how do you guys fix that moving forward?
I mean, I think we continue to work the field and don't let it happen again.
Jonah, you've obviously been in this kind of situation before in a loser's bracket last year in the SEC tournament and then in the regionals. How hard is it to come back from losing a game in a double elimination, and what do you tell the team going forward?
It's definitely difficult, but I think if we come back with confidence, I think we played a fine game today. I mean, Kentucky's a really good ball club, and they came up with some big hits. Our pitchers kept us in the game. We had some defensive mistakes, but correct that and be ready to go tomorrow.
Jonah, with the bullpen kind of shorthanded, did you guys feel like offensively you were going to need to put up some runs going into today?
For sure, against a team like Kentucky, that they're very offensive, and we're going to have to battle all day offensively. And we knew that 2 wasn't going to be enough, so we had to continue to tack on. But, I mean, they're really good offensively.
Any more questions for the players? Okay, the players, thanks you guys. You guys can step down. We'll take questions now for Coach Holbrook. First row, Coach.
On the pitch to White for the bases clearing double, what was called? Where did it miss? Just what happened?
It was just a fastball on the outer half of the plate, and he did what good hitters do. He didn't miss it. He didn't do too much. Didn't try to do too much. Used the whole field and drove it in the opposite field gap there. This is a really good swing by a really good player, and obviously it made a huge difference in the game.
To your right.
Jeff Owens, Spurs and Feathers. Chad, you're back to a must-win situation again. So what do you try to draw from yesterday to try to get your team to recapture what you had yesterday?
Well, we need to play better. I mean, I'm not disappointed in our kids' effort, but defensively, we've been a pretty good defensive team all year, and obviously you're not going to beat Kentucky when you make 4 errors, and so we gotta make sure we make the other team earn what they get. And Kentucky, you can't give them free chances. You can't give them free 90s. You can't walk them. They keep coming at you offensively. And we opened the door for them a little bit there. We gave them their second run. We couldn't keep the ball in the infield there on a ground ball in the 4-hole. Rowe couldn't keep in the infield, and they made us pay for that one. And then obviously, we set the table for them there in the 6th before the 3-run double. So we just got to play better defense to give ourselves a chance. Tomorrow we get our rotation back, and I'm sure we'll throw tomorrow, and if we're lucky enough to win tomorrow, Adam will go the next day, and it's our hope and our goal to stay here a few more days. And just got to take it one game at a time. We came in here with that mindset, one game at a time. Very rarely does anybody sweep through this tournament. The teams are too good, and didn't have to extend too much of our bullpen today. So we're going to go into tomorrow with optimism. We got one of our best pitchers on the mound. We'll have some bullpen help, and we play defense and get some timely hits. maybe we can advance, and that's just going to be the mindset.
Coach, I mean, you asked earlier about when Jonah was saying you've been in this situation last year. You have a pretty young team, and what are you going to take away not only from today, but do instill confidence in your team one more day? I mean, to keep going forward. I mean, they did play a great game. You were tied with them. You said the first few innings yourself. But, you know, when you look at the fact you have a young team, two of which haven't even played this position before, what are some things you're going to say to them tonight to just keep it positive?
Well, we just, you know, we were in this situation yesterday, and, you know, we it didn't look so good at a few points yesterday's game, and we just got to keep playing. You know, we have a pitcher on the mound that can stuff anybody, and we're going to need a good deep outing out of him, and obviously we need to play better defense to give ourselves a chance. But you know, when we get the chances to extend the lead, we have to take advantage of it, and we had that chance today, up 2-0 in second and third and 2 outs, and we put a good swing. We were a foot away here or there from being up 4-0, and then we were going to change a few things about our bullpen, but you got to make it happen, and Kentucky made the play, and you have to give them credit for that. You can't just say it was tough luck. LT squared it up. The kid made a great play, and that play was every bit as important as the 3-run double that Evan White had.
We'll take this one right here and then one in the back.
Chad, I asked you this a couple of weeks back, but a couple of bunt opportunities in the first couple of innings. What went into those decisions, and does it get to a point where, you know, y'all kind of quit doing that?
TJ Hopkins bunted on his own, and the other bunt was LT Tolbert, and LT can't move. He's got torn cartilage in his knee, and we're doing our best to stay out of a double play there. And you know, LT does hit a few ground balls, and he's struggling with his mobility, and we just felt that was the best opportunity to try to get a lead. We were trying to get a lead of 2, 3, 4-0, and if we could, and we had that opportunity there, we were going to turn it over to Bowers a lot earlier. But you got to give credit to, you know, Becker. He made a great play when we had that opportunity, but that was just a situation in which we just wanted to get a lead, and had a left-handed pitcher on the mound and some right-handed hitters coming up. We got to be able to execute to get those run home. I mean, it's as simple as that. And there's a left-handed pitcher out there with LT bunting too, and he couldn't move very well. So I was just playing the numbers and playing the odds on that bunt play, and didn't work out for us because we didn't. Olsen or Hunter couldn't get a big hit behind him.
Other than maybe White's double, did you feel like overall your pitching staff, some guys that maybe hadn't been in that situation before, performed pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Coley kept us in. Coley's been good for us all year long. You know, Park did okay in some spots, but he got a little bit erratic there with a hit by pitch and a walk. And then against a team like Kentucky, if you give them free passes, they're going to make you pay, and White did. Cody, with his first experience out there, did okay. You know, he commanded the strike zone a little bit better than he has in the past. He kept us in the game. And if we keep that ball in the infield, he leads with a 2-1 lead. You know, but we couldn't keep that ball in the infield there when they tied it up 2-2. And, you know, and then we had an opportunity there to do a few things more, but Kentucky was just a little bit too offensive. And you got to give credit to Zach Lowe. I mean, their last two pitchers did a great job against us, threw extremely well, and kind of limited our threats there. After we had that 2-run lead and a chance to tack on, they kind of limited us from that point forward.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.